Hi students, and welcome to week 2 in your online lifespan growth and development class. You did such a great job last week familiarizing yourself with the class, working on chapter 1, all while dealing with a winter storm. So congratulations on all of that. This week we are moving on to chapter 2, which is going to cover conception to birth. So we're actually starting, those phases of the lifespan. Last week was more of a recap of what psychology and psychological research is all about. And this week we're moving in. And from here on out, we will move chronologically through the lifespan. So conception to birth this week. Let's take a look at our module. You have the PowerPoint slides. You will have your first journal over the semester. Remember, you're working on a project. You're working on your lifespan portfolio or project, if you will. However, it's not one big thing due at the end of the semester. It is scattered throughout the entire semester. So this week, you're working on part of that, which is journal number 1, and I'll come back and talk about that in a little bit. You will also have a discussion question, very much like the discussion question you did last week, where you introduced yourself to the class and then had to respond to classmates. The same thing holds true with this discussion question here, except for this time, you are going to be looking at disturbances in prenatal development and the birthing process, and then you will have your second quiz number 2. So 3 assignments, two of them, are writing assignments that you'll do here in Canvas, and one is your quiz out in Connect. Just like last week, it'll send you out there, but you'll navigate it from right here within the module. So let's take a look at what the expectations are for the journal writing. So journaling has research to support how helpful it is for you to process new information and your thoughts and your feelings, etc. So just really kind of using that benefit of journaling and then applying it here to lifespan growth and development, which is, impacts you. You are a person, you will go through lifespan, you have people in your lives from all different periods of the lifespan. So you'll have journals, again, 4 in total, just doing one this week, that will span across the entire human lifespan. So, and the directions remain the same on each journal. The prompt is the only thing that changes. So I'm not huge on I'm going to count your words. It's got to be, exactly this length. And if it's not, I'm more about the content that you're putting into your work. But for some guidelines, it should be about 250 words typewritten, so type double spaced. The biggest thing I probably count off, because in journals, I don't count off for your thoughts. Those are your thoughts and you're entitled and they're valid thoughts. So it's not graded based upon that. It is more, are you meeting the expectations of the journal, kind of, making sure that you're answering all parts of the journal. So it's easy. Who's your personal hero and why? That's super easy to write 250 words about for some people. And they'll do that, and then they'll realize, oh, I'm already, written 2 pages. She said it only had to be 250 at a minimum, and forgets about the rest of the questions. So I will accept journal. They can be as long as you need them to be. Again, I don't want to put too many restrictions around the art of journaling. So I have given you the minimum, which is about 250 words typewritten, but more importantly than that is that you're thoroughly answering all parts of this question. So you're going to answer, who is your personal hero and why? What has been the most difficult period of life so far, and why have you found it to be the most difficult? What is one aspect of aging that you look forward to, and one aspect of age that you dread? So again, explain your answers and make sure you're answering all parts of that. All those questions together make up your journal number 1 prompt, okay? Again, there's no research, there's no citation or referencing. These are your thoughts. So this first question is really, kind of setting you up to see how you feel and think about aspects of lifespan. So we'll dive into these topics a little bit more as we go along. So I spend a little bit more time than I normally will on describing journals. Just know that journal number 2, 3, and 4 have the same directions, the same length. The only thing that, of course, changes is this prompt down here. Okay, so that is one of your writing assignments. The second writing assignment for this week is your discussion question. So on discussion questions, just as a reminder, everyone in the class can see that discussion question. So really, overkill with directions and purpose and why I'm having you do this and what you're meaning. It's all important. I'm not going to read it to you right now, but just so you know why I'm asking you the question that I am and how it links to everything. You'll find in chapter 2 that you're reading about prenatal development and some of the disturbances that may happen along the lines of prenatal development, as well as the birthing process. So what I want you to do is, after reading chapter 2, I want you to choose one cause or disturbance that can happen either during conception, prenatal development, or the birthing process that you want to learn more about. So there's many, many, many. Just pick one that you're going to focus on. And then what I want you to do is to research, and I have a video here helping you how to find an article in the library. So you'll use our library and find an article that goes in more depth about the cause or disturbance that you've chosen. And then I want you to basically just reply to this assignment with these 4 questions here. So this worksheet, it's not really something you have to turn in. It's more along the lines of just something I've provided as a resource to help you if you're new to understanding a research article and how to write about it. But basically what you're going to do is post your response to these 4 questions here. So that's the first part of the discussion question. The second part, please don't forget, you need to respond to at least 2 classmates' posts. And it needs to be about 2 paragraphs. Like, why do you agree with them? What did you find in your research? Do you have questions for them? Just like we would kind of formulate a discussion in class. So 2 parts to the discussion question. One is your response up here to these 4 questions. The second part is your response to classmates. Okay, so I have on here, and this is not like a due date. I kind of want to say that it is. You have until Sunday to get all parts of this turned in. I encourage you all to post your first part by Thursday. And here's my justification. This holds true for any discussion question. If you're all waiting until 11 o'clock on Sunday night to post this first part, then you're all waiting up to the deadline to post the second part, right? Because I can't comment on somebody else's post if they haven't posted yet. So if we're all waiting until last minute on Sunday, gosh, you're working right up against the timeline. However, which I hope that you are spreading your workout over the week and not trying to do it all last minute. However, if you're posting this earlier in the week, as early as today, you can start working on it. Then that gives you and your classmates, right, because I'm asking you all to do it, so it benefits you as well, a chance to go in and to do this second part and not have to do it last minute. That's why I asked for you to do it earlier. I understand life happens. Gosh, I mean, even with the weather already, at the start of this semester, things change. We have kids at home. We might have internet out, all the different things. I understand sometimes maybe you don't get to it till Sunday. And that's okay. If the majority of us are doing this early on, then it's fine. But I will accept it up until Sunday. So I hope that helps. And just a quick little recap here of this week's module. You have chapter 2. You have journal number 1 we went over. You have that discussion question we just went over. And then don't forget about chapter 2 quiz. I'll only ever expect you to do the things that you find in this module here. So we're kind of cleaning up. I'm going to be honest with you. McGraw-Hill Connect LTIA, that LTIA is brand new. So I've had to rebuild it, and I keep finding the old stuff is kind of sneaking in. So unfortunately, you just happen to be the class on like kind of a, system upgrade. And I'd love for it to be perfect for you. If you see something that feels out of place or an old due date, just shoot me an email and I'll get that cleaned up. It's never my intention to confuse you. But what I can tell you is that I will only hold you accountable for what you find in the week's module of what we're looking at right here. Okay? You're doing an awesome job. You had such a strong start. Keep up the good work. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Take care, everybody.